tell me about your weekend.
It was good. I saw some friends. It was nice.
That is 4 English sentences, all grammatically correct, and I learned almost nothing about your actual weekend.
I know, and it frustrates me because I know hundreds more words than that. I know the word exhausted, I know catch up, I know binge watch. But when someone actually asks me a simple daily question, all of that disappears, and I produce, it was good, it was nice.
And this is one of the strangest gaps in language learning. You can know an enormous number of words and still not have daily English, because daily English is not about vocabulary size. It is about the very specific, very small, very repeated phrases people actually use to talk about ordinary things, and almost nobody teaches those directly.
So today, we fix exactly that. Real daily conversation, talking about your day, your week, your plans, and the people in your life the way people actually do it, not the way the 4 flat sentences do it.
I'm Mary.
I'm Albert. LeapTalk English B2 level, real conversation. Today, why you cannot talk about your day like a native speaker, even though you know all the words. Word tour at the end. Stay for thing 4, the language of making plans, because it is the one most learners genuinely never taught properly.
Comment right now. Tell us about your day so far in English in the comments. Just 2 or 3 sentences, real ones. Let's see what comes out.
Let's go. Thing 1, the most asked daily question in the English language, and the most flatly answered.
Show me the flat version again properly this time.
Flat. It was fine. Busy. Yeah, fine.
And the real version.
Natural. Honestly, one of those days where nothing went badly wrong, but everything took twice as long as it should have.
One of those days where, already touched on in an earlier episode, worth repeating here because it is the single most useful daily opener that exists. It immediately signals there is a real story coming, not a flat report.
Nothing went badly wrong, but a structure for describing a day that was not that exactly, but was not smooth either. More honest than fine, more specific than bad.
Everything took twice as long as it should have. A very common, very visual way of describing a day full of small delays rather than one big problem.
I'm not gonna lie, it dragged. Dragged when time moves slowly and a day or task feels longer than it actually was. Very natural, very honest.
It flew by, the exact opposite. When a day passes quickly, often because it was good or busy in an enjoyable way.
So to the listener, one of those days where nothing went badly wrong, but everything took twice as long as it should have. It dragged. It flew by. 5 phrases that replace fine with something a real person actually means.
Stay. Thing 2 is the language of talking about being tired, because I'm tired is doing far too much work every single day for everyone.
Thing 2. I'm tired is true approximately every day of every person's life, which means it tells the listener almost nothing.
I'm knackered. British English, very informal, very common for complete physical exhaustion, stronger than tired, said constantly at the end of a long day.
I'm running on empty, already covered in the mental health episode, worth repeating here in its purely physical, everyday sense, functioning but with nothing left in reserve.
I could sleep for a week, the exaggerated, very common way of expressing extreme tiredness. Nobody means it literally. Everyone understands it instantly.
I'm dragging myself through the day, the physical image of forcing yourself forward through tiredness, used constantly and very visually understood.
I hit a wall around 3, already covered, worth returning to here as a daily life phrase rather than a burnout phrase specifically. The sudden, specific moment energy disappears.
I just need an early night. The solution phrase, said constantly, signaling the plan to recover from the tiredness rather than just naming it.
Knackered, running on empty. I could sleep for a week, dragging myself through the day. Hit a wall. I just need an early night. 6 replacements for the one word doing far too much work.
Stay. Thing 3 is the small talk that fills every single ordinary daily interaction, the kind that has nothing to do with feelings at all.
Thing 3. The genuinely tiny exchanges, the ones so small they barely register as language and yet happen dozens of times a day.
Nice weather for it, said almost sarcastically when the weather is actually bad, or genuinely when it is good. Context decides the meaning entirely.
Nice weather for it. Asked to a shop worker, a colleague, anyone clearly in the middle of a hectic moment. A small acknowledgement rather than a real question requiring a long answer.
Made it, said on arrival somewhere, especially after a difficult or late journey. Short, relieved, universally understood.
Long time no see. For someone you have not seen in a while. Slightly informal and grammatically unusual, but completely standard.
You look like you've had a day. Said gently to someone who clearly has, without requiring them to explain anything yet. An invitation, not a demand.
Same time next week? The casual way of confirming a recurring plan without needing to formally schedule it each time.
Same time next week? Nice weather for it. Busy one today? Made it. Long time no see. You look like you've had a day. Same time next week? 6 tiny exchanges. None of them carry much information. All of them carry connection.
Stay. Thing 4 is the one most learners genuinely never get taught properly. The language of making plans.
Thing 4. And this one matters more than people realize, because making plans badly in English causes more real confusion than almost any other daily interaction.
Are you free this weekend? The standard opener. Simple, but worth knowing the natural phrasing. Are you free? Rather than the more textbook, do you have free time?
I'm easy either way, when you genuinely do not mind which option is chosen. Very natural, very common, and surprisingly hard for learners to produce without having heard it directly.
Let's pencil something in to make a loose, tentative plan that is not yet fully confirmed. Pencil in the image of writing something lightly, easy to change later.
I might have to play it by ear, when you cannot commit firmly yet and need to see how things go closer to the time. Very natural for genuinely uncertain plans.
Shall we say 7? The natural way of proposing a specific time, softer than let's meet at 7.
I'll hold you to that, playfully confirming a plan, signaling that you are taking the commitment seriously, even in a light tone.
And let's not leave it so long next time. Said warmly at the end of a meetup with someone you do not see often, expressing genuine intention to repeat it sooner.
Are you free this weekend? I'm easy either way. Let's pencil something in. I might have to play it by ear. Shall we say 7? I'll hold you to that. Let's not leave it so long next time. 7 phrases, the actual vocabulary of making real plans with real people.
Last thing, the phrases for ending a conversation naturally, without it feeling abrupt. Thing 5.
Because starting a conversation gets taught constantly. Ending one naturally, without it feeling like a door slamming, almost never does.
Right, I better let you get on. Signaling that you are aware the other person is busy and you are wrapping up out of consideration for their time.
I won't keep you. Similar, used at the start of a brief interaction to signal you know it should be short.
Anyway, I should get going. The standard, very common way of beginning to end a conversation without making it feel sudden.
Catch you later. Casual, warm, very common between people who will likely see each other again soon.
Take care. Slightly warmer, used more broadly, including with people you might not see again for a while.
And this was lovely. Let's not leave it. A slightly more affectionate close for a conversation or meeting that genuinely meant something, distinguishing it from the routine catch you later.
I'd better let you get on. I won't keep you. I should get going. Catch you later. Take care. This was lovely. Let's not leave it. 6 ways to end a conversation that feel natural rather than sudden.
5 things. What actually goes wrong with how was your day? Beyond I'm tired, the tiny small talk nobody notices, making plans properly, and ending a conversation naturally.
And the thing running through all 5, the same thing, is that none of this required new vocabulary. You already knew the words tired, day, plan, weather. What you were missing was the specific, repeated shape those words take in real daily English.
And now you have the shape.
Use it today on the very next How Was Your Day?
Word tour.
First word, drag. To drag in the context of time means to pass slowly. A day or task that drags feels longer than its actual length, the opposite of flying by.
For example, the meeting dragged, 40 minutes that somehow felt like 2 hours, with everyone glancing at the clock by the halfway point. Repeat, drag.
Drag.
Next, knackered. British English, informal, for complete physical exhaustion, stronger and more vivid than simply tired, and extremely common in everyday spoken English.
For example, by the time she got home, she was completely knackered, the kind of tired that makes even sitting down feel like an achievement. Repeat, knackered.
Knackered. Next, tentative. Tentative means not fully confirmed or certain, provisional. Penciling something in makes a tentative plan, one that is loosely held and easily changed.
For example, they had a tentative plan for Saturday. Nothing confirmed, nothing booked, just a loose understanding that they would probably do something.
Repeat, tentative.
Tentative.
Next, abrupt. Abrupt means sudden and unexpected, often in a way that feels slightly rude or jarring.
A conversation that ends abruptly, without any of the natural closing phrases, can feel uncomfortable even if nothing was actually wrong.
For example, the call ended so abruptly that she checked her phone twice to make sure it had not simply cut off. There had been no "right, I'd better go," just silence. Repeat. Abrupt.
Abrupt. Next, consideration. Consideration means thoughtful attention to someone else's needs or feelings. Phrases like, "I won't keep you," or "I'd better let you get on," are small acts of consideration, acknowledging the other person's time and situation.
For example, it was a small thing, but the consideration in "I won't keep you long" made the whole interaction feel warmer than it needed to. Repeat. Consideration. Consideration.
Next, visual. Already implied in earlier episodes, worth naming directly here. A visual phrase is one that creates a clear mental image rather than stating something abstractly. Dragging myself through the day is visual in a way that "I am tired" is not.
For example, the phrase was visual enough that he could picture it exactly, dragging himself quite literally from one task to the next. Repeat. Visual.
Visual. Next, affectionate. Affectionate means showing fondness or warmth. "This was lovely, let's not leave it" is an affectionate close, distinguishing a meaningful meeting from a routine, casual one. For example, her goodbye was noticeably more affectionate than usual, not the routine "catch you later," but something with real warmth behind it. Repeat. Affectionate.
Affectionate.
And our final word, register. Already covered, returning here because daily English is fundamentally about choosing the right register, knowing when fine is appropriate and when it is not, when a tiny exchange is enough and when more is needed.
For example, she had learned to read the register of each exchange. Some moments wanted a quick, "not much you," others wanted the real answer, and knowing the difference was most of what daily fluency actually was. Repeat. Register.
Register. 8 words. Drag, knackered, tentative, abrupt, consideration, visual, affectionate, register. Every one belongs to the shape of daily English, not its vocabulary list. This week, one practice. The next time someone asks "how was your day," do not say "fine." Use one phrase from today. One of those days where, "I'm knackered. It flew by." Just one. And notice what happens to the conversation that follows.
Because the words were never the problem. The shape was.
I'm Mary.
I'm Albert. LeapTalk English. Thank you for listening. Right, I better let you get on. See you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.